So we have an algebra word problem. It says an animal shelter spends $1.70 per day on each cat and $3.30 per day for each dog. So Pat noticed that the shelter spent $36.60 on Wednesday for the cats and dogs. So write an equation to represent the possible number of cats and dogs that could have been on the shelter on Wednesday. So basically, we know that the total cost per day is $1.70. I'm going to just write it as 1.7. So 1.7 is the cost for cats plus 3.3 or $3.30 is the cost for dogs. And that equals the total cost for each day. So for Wednesday, we know that the total cost is $36.60. So instead of T, a big T right there, I'm going to write 36.6. So again, instead of writing an extra zero, I just took the zero off for each number. So this would be the equation to represent the number of cats and dogs, the cost for Wednesday. So it says here that Pat said that there might have been 9 cats and 5 dogs in the shelter on Wednesday. So are Pat's numbers possible? So we're going to plug those numbers into this equation. So we take 1.7 times 9. So she says there was 9 cats plus 3.3 times 5. She says there was 5 dogs. We're going to see if that is equal to 36. So go ahead and use our calculator. 17.9 times 17. Oop, made a mistake right there. 1.7 times 9 is equal to 15.3. And we take 3.3 times 5, and that's equal to 16.5. And if we add both of those guys together, we're going to get $31.80. So those numbers are not correct. So that would be no. So later it says Pat found the record saying that there was a total of 14 cats and dogs at the shelter on Wednesday. So how many cats were on the shelter on Wednesday? So now the problem has given us a second equation. So it says that there was a total number, so cats plus dogs is equal to 14. So this is our second equation. Basically, it says cats and dogs has to equal 14. There's 14 animals on Wednesday. So I'm going to go to the next board. Now we have 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So I'm going to rewrite the second equation in terms of C. So if we subtract D from both sides, we're going to get C is equal to 14 minus D. And now we can plug C, or this part, into this equation. So basically it says C is equal to 14 minus D. So we're going to plug that part into here. So 17 times 14 minus D, right? Because those are the same thing, plus 3.3D is equal to 36.6. So now we have one equation, one unknown, and we can solve for D. So we can distribute this through, right? So 1.7 times 14 is equal to 23.8 minus 1.7D plus 3.3D is equal to 36.6. So subtract 23.8 from both sides. So we take 36.6 minus 23.8, and we're getting 12.8 is equal to 3.3 minus 1.7, 1.6D. So if we take 12.8 and we divide it by 1.6, we're left with D is equal to 8. So basically, there's 8 dogs at the shelter. So if there's 8 dogs, that means there has to be 6 cats. And that's that's it. So there's 6 dogs and 8 cats. And we can check our work. So if we take 1.7 times 6 plus 3.3 times 8, we're going to get $36.6. So that would be the answer to that equation. So I hope that helped whoever asked this problem with their homework.